I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, was advertised and posted and made available to the public as required by law. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any review changes to the agenda?
No, Mayor.
We now open up for public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to make a comment on the agenda item, please step up to the mic. State your name and your concerns and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Old business, please.
There is no old business, Mayor.
Discussions of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Millville. Our parts department is still cleaning up our various locations from the storm, which were left with fallen branches, tree maintenance, and grounds maintenance. We're also getting our ball fields ready for baseball and softball season, which will soon be in full swing. We also had our first RVC meeting last week on 3/27. We feel like it was a great start. We had over 30 people there, including the mayor, commissioners, Udalvis, Pepitone, and myself. Vice Mayor, we know he was there with us in spirit. We discussed many issues with the city and how we can assist by taking action and volunteering to help enhance what our administration's plans are. We not only spoke about recreation ideas, we spoke about many important issues, but the one thing that was prevalent among all was the fact that we believe we need a full-fledged community center for our children and the community to enjoy. We had very nice refreshments. Thank you to the mayor and Samantha Cruz. We're also looking forward to our next RVC meeting. We have also a logo contest where the winner gets 2 free movie tickets and $20 to spend. We believe it was fun and very informative, and thank you to all who attended. Everyone that attended all provided excellent ideas and participation. I see this committee doing great things for our city, and I hope more of our residents and those who love our city come and join us. Our next meeting is scheduled for April 25th. The location is to be announced. I will surmise this with a very prominent quote that I have mentioned previously, but I feel it needs to be reiterated. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Millville, let's go together and transform our city, the Holly City. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's my time.
Thank you. Very well said. Commissioner Pepitone.
How well you went, Mr. Cooper. You did a great job there. I want to echo what Bruce had shared. It was a great meeting. It was a great opportunity. Everyone there had a lot of fun, which was really good, and which is important to bring people back to another meeting. Thank you again, Mayor, for those wonderful chicken wings that we had. They were great. Like I said, everybody who came had a good time. One interesting thing that I saw, people were responding on Facebook that they were sorry that they missed the meeting. They want to know when the next one's going to be. So there is a buzz and there's an interest that's coming from that. So I'm really excited. It was a great opportunity to the community get together to do something positive, and we want to continue to do much more of that. I want to also talk about, I just got done having a meeting with Inspira, and I'm pretty comfortable in moving ahead with them, so I'll ask you for your support this evening to move ahead with the Memorandum of Understanding. Chief Harabell and I had about a 3-hour meeting last week discussing how we want to see Center City look with the addition of additional police officers to create a power shift. Also relocating some of the police officers, the actual cop cars in the center part of the city. So Center City has such a presence that we may not even need to look at things like shock spotters, etc. We want to see Center City blow. And it was really exciting. Hopefully we can get the funding to do that. Again, I have concern about our budget, about deficit spending. I'll talk more about that later. But with that, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Udalvis.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I refer to our agenda and the item that is titled CDBG Rehabilitation Program Discussion. At this time, I refer to our City Administrator, Regina Burke, to explain the context of the discussion listed beneath this item.
Good evening. We met with Ted Ritter, who, for those of you that don't know, is our lawyer who collects on mortgages that aren't paid up to date for rehab loans, RAD loans, and so on and so forth. he had some concerns when we place these mortgages, and he's collecting and different things, but one of the concerns he has is he was directed by the Pass Commission to verify that when these loans are placed, the homeowner says that they'll keep insurance. And he's running into situations where he's looking at some people who are in bankruptcy, so there's nothing he can do about the loan payment, but he's not sure that they have homeowners insurance. He wants direction from the commission on how we want to move forward with them. He has a couple that have said they're living there. He was verifying, making sure the concept of these loans is you have to stay living in the home till such time, and then the loan is forgiven. He was verifying that they weren't renting the property, they hadn't moved on, and weren't. So he verified most of that. He does have a couple that he has proof that they're living there, but he doesn't have proof of their insurance. So the insurance, I guess, has become his concern, and he wants some direction from the commission about how to proceed with that.
Do we have to answer you now?
No, I'm just giving
Okay.
think about it, get back to me whenever, but I'm just giving a concern that, he has some concerns. And
Very good.
he also is working on some, and he had some concerns, and I'm not sure that we're going to address that at this point, about the files he has to work on. He's paid by percentage of what he receives, and he was directed by the Pass Commission to do some things where verifying these people have insurance and all. He's not really collected on the loan. It's not in his contract this year, but he's asking when we start to consider for the next contract that we consider some type of payment for that kind of processing.
Okay.
So.
If additional clarification should be needed and the commission or the members of the commission decide to reach out to Regina to ascertain more information or even request a separate session with Mr. Ritter at that time, that would be the best time to communicate it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anything else?
Progress.
Vice Mayor?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, this evening we're going to have a slide presentation on our 2018 budget. We're looking forward having Bowen and Bowman here this evening to explain exactly where we are to the citizens, not just the city commissioners. I think it's very important to, if you have any questions or comments, now's the time tonight to review that. It's going to be a great evening, and I'm happy to have Bowman and Bowman here this evening. And I do want to comment, Commissioner Cooper, fantastic job. I think this administration has talked about, being hands-on throughout the community, and we are. We're bringing a lot of agencies into the city, and we're not only building a strong group here at City Hall, but also we're building a very strong group of people who really care about the city out there. We are partners, and I want to thank you for bringing this about. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
Progress, Mayor.
And again, echoing what everyone else has said, Commissioner, I think that was a great meeting, and just by the show of people that showed up, it shows that this city is filled with volunteerism. We had a great group here. They were happy to be here. They were enthusiastic, and I thought it's a great idea that you put together along with your department. And by the way, Commissioner, those wings came from BJ Roasters at High Mulberry, local person. So
It's so much better when you get them.
Yeah. But it was a shout out to BJ's at High Mulberry. They do an outstanding job there. So, yes, and I had a great time there. I like to open up my statement with what's going on in the 100 block of East Main Street. So we have something put together here, and I just want to read this to you so that everybody understands what the city position is and how we feel about what's going on. So I want to update the citizens on the events surrounding the closing of Main Street downtown and the work that's being done at 109 East Main Street, a building known as the Old Eagle, which shares a common wall between 103 and 105 East Main Street, which we all know as Jim's Lunch. Monday, a week ago, the Millville construction officer inspected and issued a notice of unsafe structure to the owner of 109 East Main Street. The building was determined to be in such poor condition that a structural engineer was brought in to do further evaluation and determine what could be done to shore up the building. Using those recommendations, the city has hired a contractor to secure the site. The road was closed for precautionary reasons and remains closed. Work was done to repair Ware Avenue to take some of the traffic around the site and minimize the hardship on motorists. We encourage motorists to use Ware Avenue as much as they can. Following the emergency work on 109 East Main Street to ensure the safety on the site, we are now turned toward what to do with the building. Big decision that we have to make. We have been in contact with the owner of 109 East Main Street, Matthew White, who has been helpful, but believe will ultimately be unable to pay for the work that needs to be done. Tonight we will be discussing going to court to get permission for the city to demolish the building and placing a lien on the property for the costs absorbed by the city. We have invited Mr. Matthew to this meeting, the owner of 109 East Main Street, to be here to discuss the matter, and our city attorney has been in contact with him, keeping him up to date on the situation. We have been in regular contact with the Mall family and their attorney, Mr. Pancaria, who will be here tonight to represent his client and help us come to the best outcome for the city as a whole while doing what we can do to protect the beloved local restaurant of Jim's Lunch. This is very important, that I'd like to thank all our city employees, and I'm not going to go through all the departments. All of you know who had a hand in this. We were meeting here for several days last week. You know who you are. City employees, police department, fire department, city commissioners, all the professionals for their efforts that we are attempting to protect and serve the interests of our citizens in this city. This is a challenging and unfortunate situation for all of us. We're sympathetic to the building owners and those who work and patronize Jim's Lunch. I'm sure we have some people in the audience here that patronize Jim's Lunch. We're addressing this situation which has been placed in our laps, and we'll do our best to find the best outcome for all involved. That is the goal of this city. We want winners out of this whole thing, and that's what we're going to do. And I like what the commissioner said, Vice Mayor, is that we're taking our time through this. We're going to do it right. We want to dot our I's and cross our T's for the benefit of the citizens of Millville and those two businesses. With that, I'll move on. New business, please.
Okay, we have a discussion item regarding potential agreement with Merck as a redevelopment partner with the City of Millville. So I believe Don Ayers.
Mr. Ayers?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My name is Don Ayers. I'm the director of Millville Urban Redevelopment Corporation. I have some handouts to kind of show what we've done over the years and the type of work that we're involved in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Each one, or just basically?
I can pass it out. We can pass it out.
Thank you.
Pass that out.
Also here with me is the chairperson of Merck, Mr. Dave Mitchell.
Mr. Ayers, can you give us the definition of Merck so that everyone that's watching us or
Yes.
listening to us, can you give us the full?
Well, as I was the economic development director of the city for 10 years, we then had UEZ funds that we used to fund the economic development office cut off by the state of New Jersey. And so I was directed by Commissioner Durella and Mayor Quinn, to find an alternative way, doing for less money the same amount of work. And we hit upon, after much research, we hit upon nonprofit development corporation, such as is used in Elizabeth, the Elizabeth Development Company. I think Jersey City uses one, and also Lakewood and some other people do. So we were able to enter into a contract for 20 months with the city of Millville at half the price as the city was paying previously, and also with the caveat that Merck would charge little or no money going forward for the same services. We then have not been, after the initial 20 months, we have not been compensated by the city and have provided the that service. In 2015, the previous city commission decided not to renew the agreement with us, although we continued to provide services to businesses throughout the city. We are the owners of the Arts and Innovation Center. We are the initial loan provider to the Glasstown Brewing Company. We have made the relocation loan to Bogarts. We made a loan for the purchase of the Liz Ryan building to the Millville Development Corporation. We have provided services to Cafe Magnum Opus, bringing the state NJEDA down twice to them, and they have since relocated to 20 Bogdan Boulevard, formerly Intex Millwork Solutions. We're located at that place, and we've reached out to and have met with and toured Duran Glass with the county college and also Northeast Precast, and provided a bunch of other services to businesses. Currently working with Bruni's Burgers on you saw them in the paper today in
Yes.
Vineland, but they're going to keep the Millville location. I met with Rob today, and we're working on a loan package for hopefully for the Millville operation also. We also provided some services. We brought Hank Sauce to town. Worked with Samantha Fisher on doing that, but they came up from Seattle City and are about to open their bottling plant on Wade Boulevard. We've worked with Garden State Highway Products, the Hurley Industrial Park people, and General Polygon on some lease issues at the airport. So we've been busy and belong to a lot of different organizations also.
So, Merck, what does Merck stand for?
Millville Urban Redevelopment Corporation.
Thank you.
It's a lousy acronym, but we try to do good work.
Any questions?
Very excited to see the work you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah, I just think it's, Don, it's a pleasure having you back on board, with Merck. You know the city, you know the surrounding area, and you do have a proven record. And we want to thank not only you, but the board of directors, that are there. Millville people working for Millville, and I really appreciate the members of the board. I know how hard they're working also. This is something that I think is needed in the city, working with Merck in economic development. We have a lot of things going on right now that we can't make public, but I think you're aware of it, and we know that you will be a very important part of bringing this economic development in our city. So again, welcome aboard again.
Thanks.
All right, Don.
Anyone else? No? I also thank you for being here with us. I think it's going to be a great advantage for the city to redevelop this relationship, and we're going to be moving forward because we'll be having some announcements in the near future.
That's great.
Of good things that are coming.
It's great to be at this podium again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Thanks,
Take
Dave.
care.
Thank you.
We've now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone that would like to address this commission, please go to the podium. State your name and address your concerns, and please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Seeing no one, I close the open public portion of this meeting. I closed. Did I say open? I closed. All right. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Cooper.
No, thank you.
Commissioner Pepito.
No, thank you.
Commissioner Udalvis.
No comment at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
No comment, Mayor. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Any comments?
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.